Hello, Mr. Price here, and this is your video on the everything about brackets, specifically single ones. In section 1 we're going to look at expanding single brackets, and in section 2 we're going to be looking at factorising single brackets. Let's go straight in. So, I'm asked to expand this expression here, so I'm going to multiply everything inside the bracket by 3. So 3 multiplied by 4a is 12a, and 3 multiplied by positive 7 is positive 21. And that's the first one. Question 2. I want to multiply everything inside the bracket by 8. So 8 lots of 12. So 8 lots of 12 is 96. B. And 8 lots of negative 4 is negative 32. Okay, the next one, it doesn't matter, there's lots of terms in here. We just multiply everything by what's outside the bracket. So 2 lots of 4c is 8c. 2 lots of negative 2c is negative 4cd. 2 lots of positive 7ef is positive 14ef. And finally for question 4, 4a times 3a cubed. Well, 4 times 3 is 12. A times a cubed is a to the power of 4. Okay, when you multiply, you add the powers. So a to the power of 1 plus 3, 4. 4a times negative 2a. Well, 4 times negative 2 is negative 8. I'm multiplying a by an a squared, so it's a to the power of 1 plus 2, 3. And finally 4a times positive 8. 4 times 8 is 32, plus 32. And then 4a times 8 is therefore 32a. And that's the first set of questions done. For question 2, I need to expand and then simplify. So, I'm going to expand each bracket in turn. So, 5 lots of 2a is 10a. 5 lots of negative 4 is negative 20. Positive 3 lots of 7a is positive 21a. And 3 lots of negative 3 is negative 9. I now collect all the things that are the same. So I have a 10a and a 21a. So that's 31a. And negative 20 and negative 9 is negative 29. 31a, take away 29. For question 6, 2a times 4a squared. Well, 2 times 4 is 8. A multiplied by a squared is a to the power of 1 plus 2, 3. 2a times positive 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So 2a times 3 is 6a. Negative 3a times 4a is negative 12a to the power of 1 plus 1, 2. And negative 3a times 5 is negative 15. And the a, and now I combine the things that are the same. So I have an 8a cubed here, there's no other cubes, so I've got 8a cubed. I've got a 6a and a negative 15a. So if I start at negative 15 and go up by 6, I'm going to get to negative 9. And then I've got a negative 12a here, and just by convention I put the order so that my highest powers are at the front. So 8a cubed, take away 12a squared, take away 9a. If you left it like that, that's absolutely fine too. Let's look at section 2, which is all on factorising. So I've got my hint here. I find the highest common factor of my numbers, take it outside the bracket, and then look what I want to put inside the bracket. So for these questions, this first one isn't easy to spot. Okay, now I'm going to do this one wrong first time, just so you can see my thought process. So I might have a little bit of trouble working out a highest common factor of 64 and 48. And rather than doing a long method of finding what the highest common factor of those two numbers are, I'm just going to notice that, hang on, I know that 8 goes into these. So I'm going to guess that 8 is my highest common factor. Okay, and then I need to multiply 8 by 8c to get 64c. And I want to multiply 8 by positive 6 to get 48. Now I'm going to check inside my bracket and see if I've got more common factors. And hang on, I've noticed that I've still got a common factor here of 2. So this answer needs to be double what it needs to be because I've got a common factor of 2 still in here. So I'm going to do a new guess of 16. Okay, this is incorrect. Okay, so I'm going to do a new guess of 16 because that needs to be doubled. And now I'm going to do, right, well, how many 16s go into 64? If you need to use a calculator for these, that's okay because this is a calculator. So you should get an answer of 4c there. And then how many 16s go into 48? Or 16 times what gives you 48? The answer is plus 3. Check inside my bracket. There's no longer any common factors, so that is job done for that one. I can almost tick that myself because I know I got that right. Okay, question 2. I want a common factor between 27 and 63. If you're having trouble spotting it, then divisibility rules might help you. You might vaguely see that 27 is in the 9 times table, and because 6 and 3's digits add up to 9 as well, that means that's divisible by 9, so I'm going to take 9 outside my bracket. And I want to know what 9 times what gives us 27, or 9 times 3 gives us 27, so 9 times 3k will give us 27k, and then 9 times what gives us 63, or 9 times negative 7 will give us 63, and that's job done for that one. Okay, here I might instantly spot that, hang on, this ends in a 0 and a 5, so 5 will be a pretty good shout to do for my common factor there, and let's hope it's the biggest. So 5 times what gives us 40? Well, 5 times 8 gives us 40, and to get 40i I need to do 5 times 8i to get my 40i. And then 5 times positive 3 will give me my 15. I've checked inside my bracket, there's no common factors, that one's done. Question 4, this might also be one that you might struggle to spot, so you can try putting in some guesses to divide both of these by the same numbers and see what you find. You should find that 7 goes into both of those. Put in my empty brackets. 7 times 8 gives us 56, so 7 times 8a will give us 56a, and 7 times positive 7 will give me positive 49. Inside the brackets, there's no common factors, so that's done. Okay, and now the final questions. These ones can be a bit tricky. I've got a spot that I might also get common factors in terms of the letters as well. I know this because it says fully factorised. When it says fully factorised, there's going to be more than one thing that goes outside the bracket. So my first step is I'm going to look at what goes into 35 and 40. And 5 is the largest number that goes into both of those. And because I've got a c common in both, and c to the power of 1 is my smallest power, I'm going to take out a factor of c. Now put in my empty brackets. 5 times what gives me 35? Or 7 5s are 35. And I want to get c squared. So I've already got a c to the power of 1. So I need another c to the power of 1 so that I get c squared. And now 5 times what gives us 40? Well, negative 8 times 5c gives us 40c. Okay, there's no need for any letters here because 5c times negative 8c is negative 40c. That's done. Checked inside the bracket, there's no common factors, so it's finished. Question 2. Common factors of 15 and 20. Again, we have 5, and I've got a common factor here of w as well, because w appears in both. Put in my empty brackets. So 5w times what gives us 15w squared? Well, 5 times 3 gives us 15, and w times w gives you w squared. And then 5 times negative 4 will give us 20. So 5w times negative 4 will give you negative 20w. Inside the bracket, there's no common factors. That's finished. Question 3. I've spotted that 6 goes into 36 and 42. And now I need to be a bit careful here. I've got m common in both. I'm going to choose the power of m with the smallest value. So I'm going to take a power of m to the power of 5 outside my bracket. Put in my empty brackets. 6 is a 36. So 6 times 6 is a 36. Now I want to put an m here and a power so that 5 plus something gives me 11. Because when I multiply with powers, I just add the indices. So 5 plus 6 gives me 11. So m to the power of 6 times m to the power of 5 will give me m to the power of 11. And now 6 times what gives me 42, or 7. And I've already got an m to the power of 5, so I don't need to multiply any more m's. And I've checked inside the bracket, there's no more common factors, so that's finished. Final question. I spotted that 3 goes into 9 and 15. And I'm going to choose the lowest power of j, which is j to the power of 5, to put outside my bracket. 3 times 3 is 9, and j to the power of 5, so I need a j to get j to the power of 10. I need to get this so these add up to give 10. So j to the power of 5 times j to the power of 5 gives me j to the power of 10. Plus 3 times what gives me 15. 5. I already have a j to the 5, so that is finished. And I've checked inside my bracket, there's no common factors, that is finished. I expect question 3 and question 4 did cause some issues. Those are very much as hard as they can get, really. If you need further practice with those, do not hesitate to come and find me, and we can do some further practice questions. Thank you very much.